Hello Turtles, welcome to Sarah Cat Monkey Bird's Game Development Arena, where they're ordering me, their master, around to make a drag racing simulator. I'm hoping to have this ready by early October, but we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens. So you may have noticed I skipped out on last week, and that would be because I don't really have any visible forward progress. And what I mean by that is nothing has changed visually with the sim. It still looks like the drivetrain, and I've started a different path to make sure that the simulation is actually accurate. So what have I actually been doing? Well, I've been doing mathematics. And more specifically, I've been trying to get the mathematics of a couple different scenarios working with the car. So here we have a car lifted up by a jack stand. There's somebody in the car revving up the tire, so it's spinning at 400 radians a second, which after doing all the math I've realized is actually a pretty ridiculous speed. Anyway, the tire is rotating at 400 radians a second, and the jack stand gets kicked out, so the car falls on the ground. What happens when the car falls on the ground? Well, because the tire is going around very rapidly, it is going to lose some of its momentum while the car gains some linear momentum. Here we have another scenario where the car is flying through the air at 40 meters a second, which is pretty close to 80 miles an hour. But the wheel is not spinning. So when the wheel hits the ground, instead of the car picking up speed, it's actually going to lose some of its velocity, and the wheel is going to gain velocity. And essentially that's what I've been doing. I've been working out the math, trying to make sure that the energy, both angular and linear, remain exactly the same throughout the entire process, and calculate what the impulse is for those bodies to actually start interacting. So that was some pretty complex stuff, working with angular velocities to linear velocities and vice versa, trying to make it so that the wheel can actually apply movement to the car and the car can actually apply forces back through the wheel to the engine. I still need to add friction to this whole equation, and once I get there I still need to work on gear reductions for the drivetrain, as well as revisit the clutch and braking system. And then I think I'm going to be pretty happy and start working on the actual drag racing simulator, which throughout September I'm hoping to be able to do a lot of art stuff, being 3D models in Blender, and maybe even ramp up some graphics programming in the engine. So until then, have a good one.